Welcome to a new edition of Two-Year-Olds in Training. I'm Harold Howe with the Harness Edge at Southern Oaks Training Center on an almost frosty morning with John Butenschoen. Jesus, I left this back home. This isn't what it's supposed to be like.
Tell me about it. We were out on the boat yesterday looking at some alligators in our shorts, and I was complaining it was a little too hot, and I drank a little too much to keep myself cool. But a little refreshing this morning again.
Just a bit. We're going to talk two-year-olds, but just before we do, I wanted to talk about a couple of returnees you've got. Tony Terror. Now, here's a horse. A lot of people don't know who he is, and yet he made $200,000 last year. He's a Western Terror. Finished second in the Pennsylvania Sires Championship. You know, a little bit of tough trip in the Breeders' Crown, but you know, Jesus, $200,000 for a two-year-old gelding. I mean, you'll take them every day of the week, won't you?
Yeah, that's the second year in a row we've come up with a real nice colt in Pennsylvania. He's a Western Terror. He's a brother to Cammy Best was out of that same old mare. We give $50,000 for him, and he was like the 12th or 13th foal. And he turned out to be a real nice colt. I mean, very consistent. His first 10 starts, he had 3 wins in 7 seconds. Just got beat by Yankee Bounty in the PA Sires final in 50-2, and then he come back and did get a record of 50-2 up at Vernon. Pretty consistent horse. Last 3 starts were a little disappointing in the Matron and then the Breeders' Crown elimination and final. It just might have been a long year catching up with him, but he looks great right now, so I'm happy.
Can he pay the bills for a bunch of lesser lights this year?
He paid the bills for them, but the only problem is the same fellow that owns him. We were just looking at the stake payments, and oh my, he's got some really nice colts. I mean, he also has a Dragon Again colt, Dragon Eddie. He won a couple starts in 51 and made 140. And another one you're going to mention here, I believe, the Boots and Chains, the trotting colt. He's going to be staked up to the hilt pretty good too. So there's dropping some money on these things.
The Boots and Chains, I mean, time doesn't mean anything, but it got a nice record, 54 and a bit. It made 119,000. He only won a race, but he never missed a check, and it looked like he got stronger as the year went on. And I mean, here's another one. You'd take one of them every winter, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love the colt as a yearling, and we give quite a bit of money for him, maybe $75,000. Bob Brady bought him off of Kentucky, and Bob Brady was here in April last year, and he said, "What about that colt?" I said, "Man," I said, "he's going to be okay. He's not okay right now. He just is needs maturity." And if you look at his lines, he got that way. He got better. Photoed out in 53 at Lexington. Trotted some good last halves, 55, 56, and then did win up at I think it was Vernon in 54, and come back and was second in the kindergarten final. So we're pretty high on him coming back this year. He looks real good. Just trained him here a little bit today, and happy.
This crop, I haven't seen them all, but I've seen enough to ask you this question. How come guys like you, when you were younger, always dated the prettiest girls, and now you get to drive the best horses? Your two-year-olds look pretty good.
They're pretty good. I was trying to think of something to say about the prettiest girls. I didn't date that many. I fell in love and married one right off the get-go, and she's still mad at me about that. But
you talked her into that one pretty good.
I did. But,
anyway, let's talk about these two-year-olds. Fiery Well. This is a well-said gelding, 50,000 out of Lexington.
Yep. Real happy with the colt. You know, just my kind of way of thinking is it's such a tough deal on the studs trying to make one, so we cut quite a few of these things. Nothing was wrong with the colt as far as that goes. Maybe getting a little aggressive on the racetrack, so I thought it'd just be beneficial. We're making a racehorse out of them, and very pleased with them. We've been in 23, come a half and 8. Nice, big, strong, easy-going colt. I think I'm happy he's in the barn here right now.
Overtime Hanover, another well said. Also went under the knife, yep. 24,000 at Lexington.
Yeah, it's a 3/4 brother to Jeremy's Jet. We didn't pay a whole lot, 24,000, like you say, at Lexington for that family. Goes back to my Illinois roots out of Oh You Pretty Thing, Sportsmaster mare. So, but he's a nice colt. He'll be a solid Pennsylvania horse for us, and that's kind of what we're looking for, you know, with these mid-range colts.
Sammy Donato, a Donato Hanover colt. He skipped the knife so far. 65,000 out of Lexington.
Most of the trotters will skip the knife here. That's one thing, your benefit of the doubt if you're a trotter in my barn. But he was the last horse that sold on the first day of Lexington. Really expected that we'd have to pay over 100,000 for him. I really liked him a lot. Seen him a couple times out at the farm. Turned out, and we were able to get him for 65. And you've seen him train today. He's pretty impressive.
A lot of presence on him.
Yeah, and a lot of people that'll be watching this will be familiar with his sister, as Cry's Dream, the Taurus Dream mare that raced up there in Canada, and so I'm real hopeful for this colt here to come around.
Okay, your second set, Ideal Joey. This is a roll with Joe, 43,000 out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, we give a shot there with Roll with Joe. First crop stud, we're not quite sure, but I have his 3-year-old half-brother by Art Major. Got a late start going last year, pace 53 his first start. Then he cut the mile that Tommy Terror actually winning 50 up there at Vernon, finished 4th and pacing 51 his second lifetime start. And we just pulled the plug on him and shut him down. So I was very interested to see what the brother looked like. He looked good enough, Roll with Joel, so we took another shot out of something out of that mare. And so far so good, real pleased with him.
Okay. Blue Shark Attack. This is a Shady Shark Hanover filly, 17,000 out of Indiana.
Yeah, she's my trotting colt that me and Irv were going to buy together. Irv Miller owns part of her with me, and we were going to buy a trotting colt, and we bought a Shady Shark Hanover filly. But he's very
him out in his own.
He's very familiar with Shady Shark, and she's out of a real good mare, a No Nukes mare, Blue Hour Power or something, or Blue Hour. I think Blue Hour Power, as a half brother, was a real dominant force in Indiana, and so far she's doing what she's supposed to. I like the attitudes, and talking to other people about the Shady Sharks, same thing. They say they got a good attitude, go forward, and that's this filly. I mean, she's ears up and goes along, and we'll see what happens.
Trouble keeping her on the trot?
Yep, a little trouble keeping her on the trot.
Okay, Major Plans, another gelding, Art Major, 32,000 out of Lexington.
Yeah, he just kind of fit the bill. Same thing, mid-range colt, Art Major, New York sires, where we're based in the summer there in eastern Pennsylvania, looking at kind of keeping a few jerseys, but New York and Pennsylvania are what we target. So Art Major's been a dominant sire up there, and out of a Western Hanover mare. Everything looked good on them. Maybe not as big as what some of the other ones are, but again, it's New York, right price, right family, and hopefully we get something there.
How many 2-year-olds in total do you have?
There's 20 down here.
Here, and relatively speaking, you're happy on a frozen day in March?
Yeah, I'm in Florida. You got to be happy. I mean, you can be grumpy for a little bit about it, but happy with the horses, happy with the group of returning 3-year-olds that we have. Besides the ones you mentioned, there's a few other ones that I'm really excited about getting going here, and they'll qualify the first couple of weeks of April right here at the training center. That works really well for us, and we ship them north and get them a little time to get acclimated and ready for their seasons. And the 2-year-olds will stay here to the 1st of May or so and get north and be going. But it's a great place to be.
John, thanks for your thoughts.
You're quite welcome.
Good luck
Thank
for
you.
the rest of the winter.
Thanks.
Harold Howe with John Butenschoen, 2-year-olds in training.